Hello, welcome to another episode of It's Beauty Binge. We are so excited for our guest today. This is Yohan, aka Yo. So Yo,
Coach Yo.
Coach Yo,
Coach
Yo. Yeah, Coach Yo. I had to get that right. So Yo's incredible. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story to start off here. So when I got divorced, it was actually almost 2 years ago now. It was a huge transition for me, coming out, learning how to take on both roles, learning how to provide for a family, and just all of the things. I started, of course, to gain some excess weight. Some people, we don't eat. Well, I decided to eat to work through my emotions. So I put on a little weight, and I've always been super healthy, and I decided I needed to make a change. So that is where I was referred to Yo, and he completely helped me in my fitness journey and get me on track and catapult me into the right direction. What was I when I came in? My body fat. I was high.
It was about, 25, I think, 25, 26. Or something? I mean, that's high for your body type.
For me, like being a coach in my background, that was way high.
For
and
you
I think
personally.
For me personally.
I think if I remember correctly, I think your weight was about 140-ish. Yeah, 135, 140, and you were inflamed.
Yeah.
You were
massively inflamed, and that's probably like due to holding on to emotions and traumas and emotions. And so he helped me get back to a very healthy relationship with food, and completely transformed my body. So he's absolutely incredible, and I wanted to have him on here to help give all of you hopefully some, insight and guidance, especially as we go into the new year. Mm-hmm. So, Yo, why don't you just introduce us to yourself and your background and how you got started?
So I got started into fitness back in 2016, 17. The reason why, because I was getting married in 2017. I was heavy, and it's incredible. I look at it all the time to kind of motivate me a little bit. I wanted to start my journey. I didn't hire a coach at all for 2 years. And the only difference that I did was I lost like 10 pounds in 2 years. I was like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So then I finally hired a coach in 2018. I did my first show fall that same year.
Oh, wow.
And then I decided that I wanted to become a coach and got certified and everything else. This is the most important part, right? The reason why I wanted to become a coach is not because I was shredded. It's because the amount of emotional and the mental capacity that I had to go through, new friends, I had to deal with criticism from my own parents, from my own families and friends. Like, they thought I was crazy. I'm like, oh, Yo doesn't want to hang out with us anymore. He doesn't want to drink anymore. He doesn't want to go to the bar, because we do that every weekend. That was our weekend thing. They would call me and we'll meet at a bar. And my life just changed within that 1 year. And crazy enough, after that 1 year, I completely have a whole set of new friends. And all of them are coaches or bodybuilders or people in the fitness industry. And that's something that I needed, because it's really true. Like, show me your friends, right? And people show you who you are, right? And so that was the biggest thing. It's not that I didn't want to hang out with them or don't like them by any means. When you live a certain lifestyle, kind of like when you have kids, you can't really hang out with your friends that doesn't have kids because they don't understand, right? It's not that you don't want to. Little by little, you don't really see them anymore, right?
Yeah. It's like that saying, you're a reflection of the five people you're closest to.
Exactly.
Right. So,
yeah. So I became a coach, and the first 2 years was rough, right? The first 2 years, when you start a business, like you guys know, you got to grind. Like, I was working 5-6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. I was charging super, super low amount of, monthly payments at the time, but I had to build my business, right? And I had to get that credibility, But along the way, what I realized, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not just about weight loss. It's not just about fat loss. It's not just about looking good. It's about relationship with food, and it's about your support system, right? It's your environment, your work environment, your home environment. What does that look like? Yep. And so now we catered our program into, we need to coach someone from inside out, not outside in.
Right.
Right?
I love that.
Yeah, because you guys know what you look like on the outside.
Yeah.
Right? And we know your physical is going to change.
Yeah.
We know that. But can we change the insides, right? We look at your hormones, we look at your blood work, right? So we'll talk about that in a second. So the way we coach is so complex and it's very detailed. It's not just about here's a meal plan, here's a workout program, and then you go do your thing, right? You know that.
And they're all so different too.
Everybody's different.
So different.
Yeah. But what I love most about what you said with coaching from the inside out is how many times, right, have you lost weight and gained it all back? Is because it's really quite simple to lose weight, but it's actually becoming that person and having that person be your new standard of life and living. And you really do that through the mindset.
Right.
Because if you have unhealthy relationships with food
Right.
or with your body, you're always going to go back to where you started.
It's a lifestyle,
Yep.
right? Let me ask you this. Since when eating healthy is a diet?
Well, a diet is what you eat,
Right.
right?
Right. So like
Yeah.
if people think of, oh, you're on a diet. I'm like, no, this is how this is
Yes.
my lifestyle.
Right.
Right.
They're always like, what's your diet? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I just like,
No.
I am this way.
It's
I
weird,
eat
right?
this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I
Habit.
always
and
eat this way.
and even when you
Yeah.
go out to eat, what we picked on our plate is totally different from everyone else's.
Oh, yeah.
Because we know what we're looking for.
Right.
Unless it's a cheat meal. If it's a cheat meal, I go all out. Like I
Right.
go all out, right? I eat
Right.
a lot when I cheat, but that comes with time, right? It's moderations. Same thing with alcohol. A lot of my clients drink alcohol, myself included, but we do that in moderation, right? If drinking alcohol are not bad for you, what do you call it? Food in general, they're not bad for you, but there is a better choices of food. So my philosophy in our business is our company is that there's no such thing as bad food, but there is such thing as better choices of food.
Yeah.
Because what we see on social media today, and they're like, oh, don't eat this. This is garbage. This is poison, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
Yeah.
And there's so many fear mongering. And what that does, it causes a lot of confusion with a lot of people that are watching TikTok, Instagram, social media platforms in general. And then I have clients come to me and they said, hey, I saw this on TikTok. Like, I'm not supposed to eat oatmeal.
Right.
No.
There's so many
Right?
mixed messages,
So many.
right? With eggs, and it like changes every
Yeah.
5-10 years. Oh, now it's good, right?
Yeah, no, it's all really confusing.
Yeah.
And speaking about kind of confusion, I actually want to hurry and talk about the new weight loss injections that are out there
yeah. There's
real
so
quickly
many.
and get your advice and your opinion on those. The semaglutides that what are the other
Ozempic.
Yeah, there's semaglutide, Ozempic, trizipatides,
yeah.
and there's probably 2-3 other ones. They're all
Yeah.
very similar. It suppresses your appetite. So when a lot of it actually it's supposed to help people with type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetics to reduce their insulin, right? Because their glucose level is so high.
Yeah.
But what it does, it suppresses your appetite. So then you don't eat.
Okay.
You eat one meal a day. Even then, you probably just have like a few almonds or something, right? The problem with that is, again, I'm not against it. Okay, I'm going to be clear on that. I'm not against it. I think it could be a really good starter for people that are severely overweight.
True.
For people that have their glucose level is so high, the blood sugar level is so
Sure,
high they can't
sure.
consume carbs.
if it's properly
Yeah,
like
Used.
correct.
it's properly used
Diagnosed and
right.
used.
There's a problem with that too, right? So I'm not against it. So if you want to start with that, I think it's great, but you have to start exercising. You have to start getting your steps in, drinking more water, eliminate a lot of the junk foods that it's currently in your diet. Right. I'm talking like ultra processed food or any junk food, get rid of that. Right. So, cause you can't be on it forever.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of these prescribes for about 12 weeks at a time. And then they have to reevaluate your blood work to make sure you're still healthy to do another round of it or whatever the case may be. If you continue to do that, continue to lose weight and you're exercising, you're eating the right way, you hire a nutritionist, that I'm okay with that. And then you can come off of it.
Transition.
And then transition to,
Yes.
okay, now you're living a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
But here's the problem, right? The problem with that is I'm seeing not only overweight and obese people that are using it, but the NPs, the doctors allowing someone like you guys, someone like us,
that doesn't need
that
it.
doesn't need it.
Right.
To use it.
Your glucose level is not high enough to like, hey, but
Right.
you know how they get paid, right? That's how they get paid.
Right.
They prescribe clients, they get paid, right?
Yeah.
So it's all money at that point. You come to an NP and then, hey, can you prescribe me semaglutide? And they're like, yeah, cool. Let me check your blood work. Right? They just look at your blood work, and then I'm like, yeah, you can have some. I'm sure there's some health markers that they look for to make sure that you're not in a danger zone to
but
utilize
not
it.
a wide enough look at the person's health and history.
So that's the biggest problem is like, number one, it's being prescribed to anybody that wants to purchase. And on top of that, you don't even have to get it prescribed anymore. You can actually go online
and buy it.
There's companies out there you can just buy it online.
Oh, geez.
Because it's a peptide. You can literally buy it online and shoot it for more than 12 weeks if you wanted to. Yeah. It's dangerous. It's really, and one of the side effects, oh my God, like I was watching, one of my coaches watching something on Paramount Plus, right?
Yeah.
And the commercial comes on, talks about trizipatide.
Yeah.
And one of the side effects is thoughts of suicide
What?
and depression.
Oh,
I'm like, what?
That's so sad.
Are you kidding me?
Here's what scares me about it, right? Is if you suppress someone's appetite, they don't know it, right? They don't know this while it's happening.
Yeah.
But if for a period of time your appetite is completely suppressed and now we come off of it, all
there's
of
your appetite again.
yes, now our appetite's back.
Yeah.
Our same forms are coming back with our unhealthy eating, our cravings, our habits.
Doesn't fix
right?
this.
It's not fixing our mindset.
Yeah.
So you're losing your ability to learn control
Yep.
within yourself and your body. And so what happens after that?
There's-
If you don't have a coach, they're guiding you and helping you work through that mentally.
Yeah.
You're just gonna go back to where you were.
I've
That's
had-
my hardest thing. It's just all these band-aids we keep putting on. The keto diet's a band-aid. This is a band-aid. This is the
You'd think we'd learn
vegans
faster,
are
right?
like they're all just band-aids versus like learning how to overall have a healthy lifestyle.
Same thing with a lot of medication like cholesterol medications. Because
Sure.
you're suppressing that, or you're just masking that. Well, instead of exercising, eating right, you're just consuming those medications. Same
What
thing
did I
with
take
blood.
back in high school? Remember that like hydroxycut?
So,
Do you
there
remember
was
when that came out?
Xantrex,
And I took that hydroxycut. I'm like,
You're like sweating.
I'm like
Yeah.
sweating and I'm like all wired. I'm like, it's okay. It'll help me lose weight. I'll be skinny.
That's
And
what
then I'm like, it
these-
never fixes you mentally.
So I'm gonna make this clear, okay? So
Yeah.
for the people that are watching this,
I
there's
mean,
no
obese medical issues. Yes.
yes, 100%.
People like
Yeah.
who are healthy but just have a mental
But
body
they have to do
dysmorphia
both,
disease.
though.
Not healthy.
They have to do both. Like you can't
Sure.
pick one and that's going to fix because you're only fixing one problem, right? You're not fixing the habit. You're
well, you're really not
your
fixing
mind.
anything.
True,
No,
true.
you're not.
You're really not fixing anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I'm gonna make this clear, okay?
Yeah.
There's no such thing. There's no such supplements or weight loss shots or medication can actually help you burn calories or burn fat. There's no such thing. You have to move your body to burn calories,
Right.
Yep.
and then you have to eat in a deficit, right? So you have to burn more than you consume.
Yeah.
That is the only way that you can change your body composition,
Right.
It's not always about weight loss. It's just body composition. So lowering your body fat, increasing muscle mass. And I think, go back to the medications, the weight loss shots. What happens is, let's say you do it wrong, right? You do it and you change nothing in your life, and then you lose 30, 40, 50 pounds. So what did you learn? All you learn is, oh, wait a minute. So if I eat nothing, or if I eat super less, it's going to give me that 30 pounds loss, right?
gosh, yeah.
So when you come out of it, what do you know? You know nothing, literally.
But to starve yourself.
But to starve yourself. So let's say you lose that 30 pounds, 50 or whatever. I'm going to be generous. 50% of that weight is muscle, right? So
And we want muscle.
yes,
To be clear.
we need
Yeah.
muscle. To be clear,
Right.
okay? So let's say you lose 50 pounds, 25 pounds of that is muscle, 25 pounds of that fat. And I'm being really generous because it's usually mostly muscle, right?
Okay.
So you lose 25 pounds. Now, after you lose 50 pounds, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm done. And then you gain all the weight back. Let's say you gain another 50 pounds. What is that pounds that you gain?
It's gonna be fat.
All fat.
Yeah.
So now you're losing 25 pounds of muscle, and you're getting more fat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then the cycle
Yeah.
repeats.
And even these cute girls who want to lose 10 pounds, so they go on it.
Yeah.
It's like 10 pounds, guys.
Yeah. We're
10
we're
pounds,
just not
15 pounds.
We're not comfortable being uncomfortable.
No.
Yes.
Right?
No,
like
we're not.
doing the hard things, like just do
Right.
it.
Right. And it's
Right?
really hard to have someone just do it. Like,
Because that's
What-
easy. They're easy.
yeah, like your program is so easy.
It's not that hard.
Literally,
Yeah.
you do the workouts.
Right.
You
Right.
eat what he tells you to eat.
Check in once a week.
Check it, and you
Yeah.
get results.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And people I know, because you've hired some people I know, they can't do it. They can't follow it. And it's fascinating to me.
And a lot of that, I think it's because of the environment and how they grew up.
And your environment is crucial. If when you're
100%.
outside of the gym and you're in an environment that's not motivating, whether that's your home, whether that's your workplace, even the gym you go to,
Yeah.
right? It will affect
It's
results.
all environment. It's
Yeah.
all
Changing
environment.
your habits.
Your friends.
too,
Yeah.
especially if you didn't have that example growing up and now you have to make that change.
And a lot of people are probably wondering, oh, why do they just gain fat? So let me tell you, right? So
Okay.
after losing 25 pounds of muscle, which means it slows down your metabolism, because you're the more muscle you have, the more calories you naturally burn.
Yeah.
The less muscle you have, the less calories you burn. So if you go back to eating normal, you're going to gain it all back because your body doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Your body just doesn't know what to do with the food because you're not exercising still and you're not doing anything. You're not.
And that makes sense because I was wondering, why are all these celebrities looking so bad?
They look
Their-
sick.
Their face
Right.
is sunk in,
look
like
sick,
their eyes look hollow.
Yeah.
You're right; they don't have any muscle.
They don't have
tone
muscle.
to them. It's like stick.
And then
skinny.
the problem that I have with that, because what's the Osborne girl, the daughter? What's
I
her
know
name?
who you're
You know what I'm
talking
talking
about,
She
Ozzy's
was
daughter?
she was on it. She lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
Right. So is Kelly Clarkson too. She lost a lot of weight. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they go on the red carpet and said, "Oh yeah, I'm on this Ozempic and
Right.
tirzepatide." I'm like, "Yeah, you can. I lost 50 pounds." They're promoting it.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, they probably get paid saying that, but I don't
Well,
know.
they're all
I don't know
doing
that.
it right now.
But they're
seems like.
they're all
Yeah.
It's crazy.
they're all doing. So now you see all these celebrities that look great, and then they have this facade of like, "Oh yeah, I'm healthy," but they're really not.
Yeah.
So now you're what they say matters.
I know.
Because they influence millions of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
around the world, not just in the U.S., around the world. So as a celebrity or as a person with such a high authority in the society, you got to be careful. You got to be careful for when you say things like that. People really take it for granted and be like, oh, you know what? Kelly's on that. I'm going to be on Ozempic too.
Yeah.
Even though I don't have to lose any weight. And,
Yeah.
you know, like that's what they do. I want to feel known maybe or validated.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's
crazy.
not cheap.
It's not.
Right? It's not cheap. So with that money, they could probably hire
You.
a coach,
A coach
and
3-4 times more.
and actually fix the problem,
They-
right?
If I remember
Right.
correctly, they have like a 12-week thing and you have to pay every month. I mean, it comes out to like almost double or almost triple of the fee that I would have charged you
That's
to live
crazy.
a healthy lifestyle. And then they tell
Really?
me,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, your program's too expensive, bro. And I'm like, okay, good luck then. And then they always come
Oh,
back.
jeez. Yeah.
They always come back.
Yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
they knock
Yeah.
on the door and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
wait.
And that's
You're
why it's
right.
important also to find a coach, not only that does your program, your food, but also helps you navigate your mindset,
Yeah.
right? Because that is key, and you
And
help with that.
Let's dive into that, right?
Yeah.
So the mindset is
Right.
probably the most important key aspect of this journey. I would say
1,000%.
90% of it.
Yeah.
90% of it is just mindset.
Yep.
90% of it's
When I was
the
a coach,
emotional.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
Mindset calls.
And
Like
it's
every
like
week.
it's like with therapists.
Yep.
But without getting paid like we're a
know.
therapist.
You're
right? So the 10% of it is really the gym, the food, maybe the recovery, right? The 90% of it is the mental aspects of
Yep.
it. What I did before, when I first started, right, I was new. I didn't really have a lot of experience. So I was only focusing on the weight. Hey, have you gone to the gym? Why don't you do this? Why don't you? So,
Right.
and then I realized, wait a minute, let's dig a little bit deeper. How are you feeling? And they're like, what? How did you feel about eating that cheat meal that you're not supposed to have? Like, what was the environment about? Talk to me. Were you pressured? Were you just hungry? Were you not prepared? Or like, what is it? I actually had a client did this week. I brought my food and I got there, and then because we're having Friendsgiving, right?
Yeah.
So I made the food. I brought my food, and my friend's like, "No, you can have it. You made that. You should eat it." And hey, it's okay. Have this, have that. She caved.
Yeah.
She ended up having a plate, right? The good thing is that she kept losing weight because we're on a cut now, right? So I don't mind her doing that because it's not like she did it the day before. It's not like she continued to do it the day of, and then the next day, you know, she didn't have that mindset of like, you know what, I'm going to start Monday. No, she went right back on the horse, right? Which is awesome. But the thought process behind that, I always have to ask her, like, what was your thought process? Were you just hungry? Were you not prepared? Were you pressured?
Right.
And then she said all three.
So much of food is like gatherings and what we do as a society.
Yes.
Birthdays, like things are meant to be a treat.
Right.
And on an occasional basis, but we're having them now every day.
I know.
Right. After every meal, I need a treat. And it's a treat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
we were
very, very true.
Yeah, we were embedded by that since we were young.
Yeah.
Since we were kids.
Yeah.
Birthday parties, what do you have? Birthday cakes.
cake, yeah.
Thanksgiving, what do you have? Christmas, what do you have? Right?
Or even when kids come home from school, right?
They want
get
a
a
little-
snack.
Yep.
Yeah.
They grab a snack, which is goldfish or
Yep.
Yeah.
chips or whatever.
Yeah.
And I
instead
don't
of
even
real
want to go.
food.
I don't even want to go into what schools are giving our kids.
No,
I
I just
don't
asked
even-
my daughter
don't
yesterday
even-
what she was eating, and
Dude.
I felt, oh my gosh,
What
I felt
was it?
abusive.
What was it?
Well, so my daughter has celiac.
yeah. Oh,
So I
yeah.
thought that they would give her more nutritious foods because she's celiac.
Oh, no.
I was wrong. I was like, well, what do you eat? She's like, oh, corn dogs and chicken
geez.
nuggets and mac and
Yeah.
cheese. And I was like, I started panicking. I'm like, that's what you're eating every day at school?
Yeah.
I was like, no. We got to start doing a home lunch.
Yeah. Well, my
Yeah.
kids are
Can't
always
do that.
hungry when they get home. They're like
my kids are
starving and they
starving,
want
'cause
to
they
eat.
don't eat.
And then they eat like a whole meal at 3 and like, why did I cook dinner?
I know. Then they
Right?
don't eat
and
like,
they don't
maybe
eat the
good
dinner.
meal.
Yeah, they don't eat the good meal.
Yeah.
So
we need to start maybe being a little more strategic with
Yeah.
ourselves and our children, right?
oh yeah, because we're
Yeah.
passing those habits onto them.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, it's
Like I said, a
parents.
lot of times we tie our emotions to the food, right?
Yes.
We got that from our parents. I'm like, oh, you feel sad? Let's go get ice cream.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Oh, we have death in the
Yes.
family. Let's go get ice cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, okay, I'm going to tell you this right now. I think I coach a lot of parents. Almost 100% of them are parents,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I say, hey, I'm teaching you how to live a healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
I can't teach you less than 6 months. A lot of my clients are with me for about a year and a half, typically. But once I teach you how to do that, because what we start with the meal plan. There's a reason why for that. And then we transition to macros because you have to have discipline to follow the meal plan first. If I give you macros right off the bat, you're going to sneak in some donuts, you're going to sneak in some ice cream in there, and then you want to make it fit. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So you have to graduate meal plan into macros, and then you can make your own meal plan. And then you can eat pretty much whatever you want, essentially.
Right.
90%. Keep it 80% whole foods, 20% processed is usually what I like to be. Then it's okay, right? And the cool thing about that process, once I teach parents to do that, and their kids follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they know the importance of protein, carbs, and
Yes.
fats.
Yes.
None of those are bad for you. A lot of people
Right.
are listening to this right now, and like people say carbs are bad. They're not
Yeah.
bad. Fats are bad. They're not bad. Alcohol are bad. They're not bad. Oh, how about this? Junk food, fast food, McDonald's, pizza, whatever. Those are not bad. Over consuming
Yeah.
carbs and fat or these types of food
Yeah.
can be dangerous. Same thing with alcohol.
But paying
When you
attention
eat
to
healthy,
how
you no longer crave that.
No.
Yeah.
Like I think that
I think you feel it. Like when I get some
Oh
fast
my
food now,
gosh.
I'm like, that is not sitting right with me.
Oh,
'Cause your body knows. It tells you,
yeah.
right?
Once you start eating healthy, I remember I went and ate Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I got the deluxe or something because I love the deluxe. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Is it the
With
fried
it-
or what?
yes.
Fried?
Yes.
Because they have the
Is it the, like,
they have
the
they have the
deluxe,
grill.
number
Yeah.
one deluxe or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that and I ate it. I was in the bathroom 10
no.
minutes later.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Your body just
Yeah.
gets used to it and then your cravings go away. It's just that initial piece of having enough discipline to stick with it
Yeah.
long enough to bridge the gap to get there.
And it takes
right?
time too. Like I notice
It
when I'm
does.
like, I need to stop with treats.
And
for
that's
a
why you
minute.
need a coach.
Yeah.
Like it's essential to have a coach during that time of learning and transitioning and
You don't have
bridging
to
the
think
gap.
much.
Yeah.
It's
We do the thinking for you.
Yeah.
But as we
right.
go, we're teaching you
Yeah.
how to live a
it's
healthier
so
lifestyle forever.
important.
Sustainable lifestyle.
Right. And you also can help, like a lot of people, I was talking to a guy the other day, talking about dating, right? Like going out and dating, what do you typically do? You go to dinner, right? You do a
Or
whole
coffee.
bunch
Everything's
of
around
dinner
food.
dates.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know why that's like the most comfortable thing. Hey, do you want to go grab dinner?
Yeah.
But that's what they do. And so if you're constantly going out to dinner, it's really easy to get thrown off track, right?
Yeah.
And really hard to stay.
Especially in the dating world.
Well,
Right?
yeah.
I have a lot of clients that are
Yeah.
single,
Yeah.
right? And they're like, yo, I have 3 dates this week. And I'm like, bro,
Right.
go get coffee or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
you can't
and
always.
it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like I
It's
go
fine.
and get literally a chicken breast.
Yeah.
And a side of vegetables. That's what I get. They're like,
Yeah.
huh, that's what I'm like,
Especially for the newbies. Like
Yeah.
I have to be really careful with it, and they have to be careful with it. I'm like, look, you're new at this. Like we have to slowly transition,
right.
but you don't have a lot of gray area. Like we want to be as strict as possible because
exactly.
you've been having cheat meals for decades. That's
Yeah.
what got you here.
Yes.
It's the cheat meals,
Yep.
Right.
right? With all the food, that all the dates, all the bars, and and
Right.
it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming on, Coach
Absolutely.
Yo.
Yes.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
We will be sure to put everything down below, as well as Coach Yo's info if you're interested in hiring him, and I highly suggest you do. And again, thank you for tuning in to It's Beauty Binge.